Before my birthday party even started, Ethan cast his phone screen onto the massive TV in our VIP lounge booth. He started an anonymous poll in our Snapchat group. The question was, should I stay with my girlfriend to cut her birthday cake tonight? Or take my childhood best friend, Melanie, to her movie premiere? A 30-second countdown, the votes rolled in instantly. Melanie, 17 votes. Me, 1 vote. Everyone assumed that one single vote was mine. Ethan leaned back on the leather sofa, a smirk playing on his lips when he saw the results. Well, majority rules. Melanie immediately slid her movie ticket into his palm. See, even everyone else thinks she should be with me tonight. I stood there in my favorite dress, staring at my birthday cake. The candles weren't even lit yet. Someone in the booth let out a sharp whistle. Come on, Chloe, don't be a sore loser, right? This kind of voting had been going on for 3 years. When we argued, they voted to decide who should apologize first. When we went on dates, they voted to decide whose hand he should hold. Even when I asked him if he loved me, he would throw the question into the group chat. Let's let everyone judge this, he'd say. I used to think that if I could just win once, it would mean he had finally chosen me. But I never won, not even tonight. Ethan stood up and grabbed his jacket. As he walked past me, he casually ruffled my hair. Be good. I'll make it up to you when I get back. I stared at the poll results on the big screen, locked my phone, and pushed the cake knife toward him. No need, Ethan. I'm opting out. The VIP booth fell dead silent for a few seconds. Ethan's hand froze midair, just above my head. Melanie was the first to let out a soft giggle. As if she had just heard a harmless joke. Chloe, don't be like that. It's your birthday. Ethan pulled his hand back, his brows furrowing deep. Chloe, everyone is watching. Don't throw a tantrum just because you lost in the past. The moment he raised his voice, I would be the first to bow my head. I was afraid of making him unhappy, afraid of his friends mocking me, afraid of being called too dramatic over nothing. I just reached down and pulled the candles out of the cake one by one. I'm not the one making things look ugly here. Melanie immediately tugged at Ethan's sleeve. Ethan, forget it. I don't need to see the movie anymore. Though she said she didn't care, she held the ticket so tight her knuckles turned white. Mutual friends immediately started chiming in. The poll is closed. We can't break the rules. Yeah, Melanie, just go. Chloe can celebrate her birthday tomorrow. Anyway, Ethan checked his watch. The movie started in 20 minutes. He remained silent for a moment, then shrugged into his coat. I'll drive her there. If you still want to celebrate, wait for me here. Don't make me have to comfort both of you every single time. I looked up, meeting his eyes. I said, no need. He ignored me, walking straight past me. Melanie followed closely behind him. As she passed me, she let out a gentle sigh. Chloe, you know, he hates being forced to choose. The moment the door clicked shut, the music in the booth blasted back to life. The poll on the giant screen was still active. Melanie, 17. That lonely single vote hung there, looking like the last shred of my dignity. My phone buzzed. A new poll popped up in the group chat. This time, it wasn't anonymous. How many minutes until Chloe runs out to apologize? 10 minutes. Half an hour. Tomorrow morning. Melanie voted for 10 minutes. Someone replied with a laughing emoji. Don't overestimate her. 5 minutes is enough. She can't live without Ethan. Ethan didn't vote, but he didn't stop them either. In the chat, someone suddenly asked, hey, that one vote for the girlfriend earlier, Chloe voted for herself, right? Melanie replied with a giggling emoji. Who else would vote for her? I stared at the screen, my fingertips growing icy cold. They didn't even believe that the single vote could have come from anyone else. I left the group chat. I left my birthday tiara on the table. The gold paper was damp from spilled alcohol, drooping sadly. I grabbed my purse and walked out. Someone behind me called out, Chloe, you're actually leaving. I didn't look back. The hallway was long and quiet. The glass walls reflected my reflection, a white dress, red eyes, and empty hands. I looked like a clown who had finally run out of jokes. Ethan didn't get back until 1 a.m. I was busy packing his things. In our 3 years of dating, his presence had filled every corner of my apartment. His razor in the bathroom, his lighter in the couch cushions. Even the throw pillows I bought had been replaced with his favorite gray ones. I was taping up the last box of his books when the front door unlocked. Ethan stood in the doorway, smelling of the cold night air and a faint perfume. It was Melanie's signature scent. The moment he saw the cardboard boxes, his face darkened. Are you doing this again? I pulled a strip of tape. I'll have someone pick these up tomorrow. He walked over and slammed his hand onto the box. Chloe, I already tried to give you an out about the birthday thing. How long are you going to keep throwing this tantrum? I looked up at him. I'm not throwing a tantrum. I'm packing. Ethan let out a frustrated laugh. I took Melanie to a movie, and now you want to break up? You saw it yourself. The group voted for it. My hands paused. So, you honestly think you did nothing wrong? He frowned. I was just following the rules. The rules again. 3 years ago, during our very first poll, he used the exact same words. He had promised to make our relationship public that day. But Melanie posted a poll in the group chat first. Will Ethan going public with his relationship ruin our group dynamic? 15 votes. No, 2 votes. Ethan looked at the results and ruffled my hair. We can go public later, babe. Everyone thinks now isn't the right time. So I waited 3 months. I waited until Melanie's birthday when he posted a photo of them together on Instagram. Then came New Year's Eve, the passenger seat of his car, our anniversary, the first slice of cake. Time after time, I was put up for a vote, and time after time, I was voted out. I grabbed my old backup phone, unlocked it, and opened a folder. Inside were screenshots from the last 3 years, 276 screenshots. Ethan froze. Why did you save these? I turned the screen toward him so I wouldn't get soft-hearted. And so I'd never forget why I had to leave. His face went rigid. Chloe, you're becoming incredibly bitter. Bitter. I let out a soft laugh. Compared to watching all of you vote on my life over and over, this is actually pretty dignified. Ethan averted his gaze. After a long silence, he muttered, you never used to care so much about these things. Because I used to believe that just once, you would choose me. He fell silent. I slid the box toward his feet. That vote last night, it wasn't mine. Ethan looked up as if he had just heard something absurd. If it wasn't you, who else could it be? I didn't answer because I didn't know either. I only knew that when the countdown started, my hands were at my sides. I hadn't even touched my phone. It was my last shred of pride that stopped me from begging for a vote in front of a room full of people. Ethan stared at me for a long time, then suddenly kicked the box aside. Fine. If you want to clear things out, make sure you don't leave anything behind, right? Then his phone lit up, a message from Melanie. Ethan, is Chloe still mad at me? Should I take her out for lunch tomorrow and apologize in person? Ethan didn't try to hide the screen from me. He typed back quickly, she's still throwing a fit. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Looking at those words, I felt a sudden wave of amusement him. I wasn't heartbroken or disappointed. I was just throwing a fit. I bent down, straightened the box and taped it shut. Ethan, we're over. With his back to me, he let out a cold laugh. You've said that so many times, but you've never actually left, have you? Around noon the next day, my friend Sophia called me. Her voice sounded hesitant. Chloe, Ethan called me earlier. He said you left some things at the lounge last night. He said you aren't picking up his calls, so he asked me to let you know. I was silent for a few seconds, so Sophia quickly added. I'll go with you. We'll grab your stuff and leave right away. But when we arrived at the VIP lounge, the booth was packed with people. Sophia's expression shifted instantly. She hissed under her breath. He told me it was just your gifts here. He didn't say the whole gang would be here. Ethan sat in the center. Melanie sat right next to him. Her eyes red and puffy as if she had cried all night. Small cake sat on the table. The candles were already lit. The moment she saw me, Melanie stood up. Chloe, I'm so sorry. She walked over to me with a glass of champagne, her voice trembling. Last night was my fault. I shouldn't have joked around with the movie ticket. Please don't break up with Ethan because of me, okay? Ethan looked up. Melanie already apologized. Chloe, stop being so stubborn. Everyone just wants to clear the air. As soon as he finished speaking, the giant screen lit up. Someone laughed and raised their phone. Why don't we settle this the old-fashioned way? A poll popped up on the screen. Should Chloe drink a glass of champagne with Melanie to officially make up? Before the countdown even ended, the votes were completely one-sided. Yes, 18. It was as if the results had been decided before I even walked in. Melanie bit her lower lip. Guys, don't do this. It'll make Chloe uncomfortable. Ethan pushed a glass toward me. Drink and let's move past this. I stared down at the amber liquid. The slashing champagne reflected my tired face. Over the past 3 years, I had drunk so many of these glasses to not ruin the mood. To give him an out, to prove I was cool. To keep Ethan from frowning, I picked up the glass. Ethan's expression softened a bit. Melanie let out a small sigh of relief. But in the next second, I dumped the entire glass of champagne straight into the ice bucket beside me. The sharp clatter of ice echoing in the room made everyone freeze. I placed the empty glass back on the table. I'm not drinking to this and you don't need to notify me when you decide to move past things. Ethan's face hardened instantly. Chloe, do you have to do this? Do what? I looked at him. You guys start a poll, force me to drink, force me to be the bigger person. And force me to pretend I'm not hurt and then you ask me why I'm making a scene. Tears began to roll down Melanie's cheeks. I really just wanted to get along with you. She turned around, pretending to leave. Ethan, I think I should go. I don't want Chloe to hate me even more. Ethan instinctively stood up to hold her back. His reaction was so fast he didn't even realize he had done it. But I saw it clearly. He didn't need a pull. His body had already made the choice for him 1,000 times over. Sophia grabbed my hand and whispered, shall we go? I nodded. Just as we reached the door, Ethan caught up and grabbed my wrist. You need to make things clear before you leave today. I shook him off. I've made it very clear we are broken up. She apologized. You two can carry on. His eyes glared with anger. I didn't agree to a breakup, I laughed. Oh, so we have to vote on breakups now, too. My phone buzzed. A new poll had been posted in the group. Will Chloe come back tonight? Yes, definitely. Yes. Only 2 options. No third choice. I held my phone screen in front of Ethan's face. Look, they even decided my return for me. Ethan's face went pale. Melanie stood behind him calling softly. Ethan, please don't fight with Chloe because of me. He didn't chase after me, at least not in that moment. I walked out of the lounge into the overcast evening. On my phone, the moving company sent a confirmation text. We are scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. I typed back a single word, perfect. The sky stayed gray on moving day. I stood in the empty living room watching the cardboard boxes stack up against the walls. Outlines remained on the paint where my picture frames used to hang. They looked like scars left behind after a relationship had been violently ripped away. My landlord called me sounding troubled. Chloe, Ethan reached out to me. He said, you're just having a small fight and told me not to process the lease termination yet. I dropped the spare key into an envelope. Just follow the contract, please. Landlord hesitated. He said, you'd regret it. I smiled gently. That's his opinion. Right after I hung up, the doorbell rang. Ethan was standing outside. He was wearing the same black coat from the night before, his expression grim. He didn't ring the bell again. He just texted me, open the door. Stop trying to scare me with this moving stuff, Chloe. My patience is wearing thin. I didn't reply. 10 minutes later, another text arrived. What do you want me to do? Looking at that sentence, I suddenly remembered the first time I backed down 3 years ago. I had asked him the exact same thing back then. Ethan, what do you want me to do? At the time, he said, just stop being so sensitive. It turned out some words eventually find their way back to you, except this time, the pain was on him. By the time the movers arrived, Ethan was still standing in the hallway. When the door opened, his eyes didn't land on me. They swept past me into the empty apartment. The shoe rack was empty. The coffee table was gone. Even the little plant he always complained was ugly was cradled in my arms. His face finally cracked. You're actually serious? I nodded, yeah. He reached out to grab my suitcase. Where are you going? I stepped back. None of your business. Ethan gritted his teeth. Chloe, don't take this too far. I sent Melanie home last night. I didn't participate in their polls either. What more do you want from me? I looked at him. To him, simply stopping the hurt was already considered a massive compromise. I pulled out my old phone from my purse. The screen displayed a poll I had just created. Is Ethan worth Chloe's second chance? Option 1. No. Option 2, absolutely not. Total voters, 1. I clicked the second option. Ethan's face turned incredibly pale as he saw the screen. Are you being childish? I learned from the best. I handed him the phone. In the last 3 years, you let them vote on my life 1,276 times. Ethan. Now it's my turn to choose. His voice dropped, cold and sharp. Don't you dare. I shoved the envelope into his coat pocket. Inside was the key, the couple's bracelet he bought me, and the movie ticket from last night, ripped in half. I choose to vote you out. Ethan grabbed my wrist tightly. Chloe the mover stood by the elevator, looking incredibly awkward. I looked down at his grip on my wrist. In the past, whenever he held me like this, I would soften up, even if my chest was tight with tears and hurt. I would immediately think, is he finally trying to keep me? But this time I only felt annoyed. I peeled his fingers away one by one. Don't touch me. Ethan froze. His fingers hovered in the air, as if he was realizing for the very first time that I could actually push him away. Just then, his phone buzzed. Message from Melanie popped up with a screenshot of a new poll. How many days until Chloe crawls back? This time? 3 days. A week, 2 weeks max. Melanie's profile picture was under 3 days. Ethan's hand trembled. He instinctively locked his screen, but it was too late. I had already seen it. At that moment, the lingering ache in my chest finally disappeared. I dropped my old phone into his palm. You guys really thought I would crawl back? I looked at Ethan. You were wrong. I stepped into the elevator. The doors began closing, but Ethan suddenly shoved his hand between them. Chloe, wait. The doors opened again. He stood there breathing heavily, the screenshot of Melanie's poll still glowing on his phone. You don't understand, he said. They were joking. I laughed. That's what you always say. He followed me into the elevator. They didn't mean anything by it. Neither did I, apparently. His expression changed. What does that mean? It means I finally understand something. I pressed the lobby button. For 3 years, I kept trying to convince everyone that our relationship mattered. I thought if I was patient enough, loving enough, understanding enough, eventually you'd stop treating me like an option. Ethan stared at me. But you never needed convincing. The elevator descended. You knew exactly what you were doing. He opened his mouth. I continued. You liked having me around. You liked knowing I'd always forgive you. You liked being able to run to Melanie whenever she wanted attention and then come back to me whenever you wanted comfort. His face tightened. That isn't true. Then why did you never stop the polls? He went silent. Why didn't you ever tell them to leave our relationship alone? Nothing. Why did you let them vote on whether you should hold my hand? His jaw clenched. Why did you let Melanie decide when you could post me? Still nothing. And why did you drive her to her premiere on my birthday? The elevator reached the lobby. The doors opened. I walked out. Ethan followed. Chloe. I turned around. For the first time, he looked genuinely scared. Not angry. Not annoyed. Scared. I'll delete the group. I blinked. What? I'll delete it. I'll leave all of them. I'll stop talking to Melanie. I'll do whatever you want. I stared at him. 3 years ago, those words would have destroyed every ounce of anger inside me. Now they sounded strangely empty. You don't get it. I'll prove it. No. I can change. You can change for your next girlfriend. His face went pale. I don't want an ex-girlfriend. I smiled sadly. You should have figured that out before you made me compete for your attention. The movers walked past us carrying my last boxes. Ethan stepped aside. Then one of them stopped. Miss, where should we take this? My new apartment. Ethan looked at the box. New apartment? I nodded. I signed the lease yesterday. You already had somewhere to go? Of course. He looked almost offended. You planned all this? No. I adjusted my purse. I just stopped planning my life around you. That sentence hit harder than anything else. His phone buzzed again. This time, he didn't look. Neither did I. We walked outside. Sophia was waiting beside her car. The moment she saw me, she smiled. Done? Done. She hugged me. Behind us, Ethan stood frozen beneath the building's awning. His phone kept buzzing. Eventually, he looked down. Another poll. Should Ethan apologize to Chloe in person? The options were yes. No. He stared at it. Then something unexpected happened. He deleted the poll. A minute later, he left the group chat. For once, there was no vote. No audience. No one telling him what to do. Just Ethan, standing alone with the consequences of his own choices. I thought that would be the end. It wasn't. That evening, while unpacking my clothes, Sophia called me. You're going to want to see this. What? Check your Instagram. I opened it. My stomach dropped. Melanie had posted a long statement. She claimed Ethan had been emotionally manipulated by me for years. She claimed I was jealous of their friendship. She claimed I'd ruined his birthday plans, embarrassed him publicly, and abandoned him because he chose to support her career. Then she added one final sentence. I hope Chloe eventually realizes that love isn't about controlling who someone can be friends with. I stared at the post. Then I started laughing. Sophia groaned. She's insane. No. I opened my old phone. I think she's just forgotten something. I scrolled through the 276 screenshots. Poll after poll. Birthday after birthday. Date after date. Then I found the one I wanted. 3 years ago, Melanie had created a poll asking, should Ethan officially date Chloe? The result had been, no, 16 votes. Yes, 1 vote. And beneath it was Ethan's message. I guess Chloe and I should wait. I screenshotted it. Then I posted it. But I didn't stop there. I uploaded 10 more screenshots. Then 20. I didn't insult anyone. I didn't call Melanie names. I simply wrote, since everyone seems interested in our relationship, here's the history you forgot. Within minutes, the post exploded. People started comparing the screenshots. Then someone noticed something. The polls weren't always created by Melanie. Some had been created by Ethan. The comments changed immediately. Wait. Ethan made this one? And this one? So Chloe wasn't forcing him to participate? He literally voted against his own girlfriend here. Then another person found something even worse. A screenshot from 2 years ago. Ethan had privately messaged one of his friends. Don't worry. Chloe always comes back. Give her 3 days. I stared at the screen. That message hurt more than I expected. Not because I wanted him back. Because I finally understood. He hadn't been confused. He had been confident. Confident that no matter how badly he treated me, I would return. I closed the app. Then my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Chloe, it's Ethan. Please come back. I don't care what anyone votes anymore. I looked at it for a long moment. Then I typed one sentence. That's good, because I already voted. I blocked him. And for the first time in 3 years, nobody got to change my answer. The next morning, Melanie woke up to 4,000 notifications. Her statement had gone viral. But not because people believed her. Someone had posted the screenshots. Then someone else had organized them chronologically. 3 years of polls. 3 years of Ethan choosing Melanie in public and expecting Chloe to forgive him in private. The comments were brutal. So Chloe wasn't controlling him. She was literally being voted out of her own relationship. Why does Melanie keep saying she's innocent when she created half these polls? Ethan literally told his friends Chloe always comes back. That's disgusting. Melanie sat upright in bed, scrolling faster and faster. No. Her roommate looked over. What happened? Someone leaked everything. Everything? Melanie's fingers shook. She opened the old group chat. Messages were pouring in. Derek, guys, maybe we should stop talking about this. Nate, stop. We're trending. Derek, because of us. Nate, I didn't make Ethan do anything. Melanie suddenly typed. Melanie, everyone needs to delete the screenshots. Derek immediately replied. Derek, you can't delete screenshots from the internet. Melanie threw her phone onto the mattress. Her face twisted with panic. Then she remembered something. There was one person who could fix this. She called Ethan. He answered on the 4th ring. What? His voice was exhausted. Ethan, you need to tell everyone Chloe manipulated those screenshots. He laughed bitterly. You're still doing this? What? Trying to make this my problem. Melanie froze. You said you'd protect me. I protected you for 3 years. His voice cracked. And look where that got me. Melanie's eyes widened. You're blaming me? I didn't say that. You're acting like it. Ethan suddenly snapped. You told me she would never actually leave. Melanie went quiet. You said she was too attached to me. I was wrong. You were wrong about everything. His voice rose. You told me the polls were harmless. You told me Chloe would laugh eventually. You told me she'd come back. Melanie's breathing became uneven. I was trying to help you. No. Ethan's voice dropped. You were trying to win. She couldn't answer. Because they both knew he was right. Then another notification appeared on Ethan's phone. His college alumni association had posted a statement. His name had been removed from an upcoming charity gala committee. The reason was simple. Due to recent public controversy surrounding one of our volunteers. Ethan stared at the screen. He had spent months organizing that event. His jaw tightened. Melanie. What? You're going to fix this. How? I don't know. He hung up. Melanie stared at her phone. Then her expression hardened. If Ethan was abandoning her, she would not go down alone. She opened her camera. And recorded another video. This time, she cried. She said Ethan had been under tremendous pressure. She said Chloe had secretly recorded private conversations. She said the polls had only been playful jokes between close friends. And then she made her biggest mistake. She said. Chloe knew Ethan and I were like siblings. The internet exploded again. Because 5 minutes later, someone uploaded a photograph from 6 months earlier. Ethan and Melanie were at a hotel opening. His arm was around her waist. Her hand was resting on his chest. The caption was from Melanie herself. My favorite person in the world. People immediately noticed something else. Chloe had commented underneath. Hope you two had fun. Red heart. Melanie had replied. Of course. Ethan would never let me go alone. The comment section went feral. Siblings where? Girl, you literally posted this yourself. Melanie deleted the photograph. Too late. Thousands of people had already saved it. Then Ethan saw it. He called her again. She answered nervously. What? You said siblings. So? You know exactly what we did. Melanie's face strained. Don't. You told me Chloe was paranoid. Ethan. You told me everyone would understand. Stop. You told me I didn't have to choose. Melanie's voice cracked. Because you didn't. Ethan went silent. Then he said quietly. That was the problem. He hung up. Melanie stared at her reflection in the black screen. For the first time, she realized Ethan wasn't coming back to defend her. So she did the only thing she had left. She called Chloe. I answered because I wanted to hear what she would say. Chloe? Melanie. There was a long pause. I want to apologize. I leaned against my kitchen counter. For what? For everything. Be specific. She swallowed. The polls. And? Taking Ethan away from your birthday. And? Her breathing became shaky. The posts. And? I shouldn't have made everyone think you were crazy. I smiled. You forgot something. What? You enjoyed it. Silence. I continued. You loved watching me lose. Her voice trembled. I didn't mean. You did. I hung up. 10 minutes later, Ethan called. I ignored him. He called again. Then again. Finally, I answered. What? I need to see you. No. Chloe, please. No. I'll explain everything. You've had 3 years. He was quiet. Then he said something I never expected. Melanie lied to me too. I laughed. So now you're the victim? No. His voice sounded miserable. I know I caused this. Good. But I need you to know something. What? That one vote at your birthday. I stopped smiling. Ethan whispered. It wasn't you. I know. No. You don't understand. His breathing became uneven. I know who voted for you. My fingers tightened around the phone. Who? He didn't answer immediately. Then he said. Me. I froze. What? I voted for you. I stared at the wall. The night of your birthday, before the poll started, I voted for you. My stomach dropped. But the poll was anonymous. I know. Then how did you? I used another account. My heart started pounding. Why? His voice cracked. Because I knew everyone would vote for Melanie. I couldn't speak. And when the results came up, I realized something. What? I was too ashamed to admit I wanted you. I closed my eyes. Ethan continued. So I let you believe you were alone. For 3 years, I had wondered who cast that one vote. I had assumed it was my own desperate hand. It wasn't. It had been his. And somehow, that made everything worse. Because Ethan had chosen me once. He had simply been too cowardly to stand beside that choice. I whispered. You should have told me. I know. You should have protected me. I know. You should have stopped them. I know. I opened my eyes. And now it's too late. He didn't argue. For once, he didn't ask me to reconsider. He simply said. I know. Then the call ended. I thought the story was finally over. Until that afternoon, when my phone received a message from an unfamiliar account. There was no greeting. Just a photograph. It showed Ethan sitting alone in the VIP lounge. And across from him sat Melanie. Both of them looked furious. Underneath the photograph was one sentence. You really think they were the only two playing the game? I stared at it. Then another message appeared. Ask Ethan who started the first poll. I called Ethan immediately. Who started the first poll? He went silent. Ethan. Chloe, don't get involved. That wasn't an answer. He exhaled. It was Melanie. I froze. What? She made the first poll. 3 years ago, Melanie had created it deliberately. She wanted to prove Ethan would choose her over me. And when he didn't immediately reject Chloe, Melanie turned the entire friend group into an audience. Every poll after that had been her idea. Every rule. Every joke. Every time I was humiliated. She had been keeping score. I opened the photograph again. Then who's sending me these? Ethan's voice dropped. I don't know. The next morning, everything exploded. Someone anonymously released the original group chat logs. They showed Melanie privately telling everyone exactly how to manipulate Ethan. Don't let him apologize yet. Wait until Chloe gets emotional. If she threatens to leave, vote against her. She'll come back. Then came the message that destroyed Melanie completely. The longer she stays, the more entertaining this gets. Melanie's friends immediately turned on her. Derek posted. I'm done taking the blame for this. Melanie created the entire system. Nate followed. She literally told us what to vote. Then someone uploaded a voice recording. Melanie's voice was unmistakable. Ethan isn't going anywhere. Chloe is too attached. The internet went insane. Her movie premiere sponsors started pulling out. The theater announced that her upcoming promotional appearance was cancelled. Then her producer called Ethan. We're postponing her contract. Ethan didn't defend her. He simply said. Understood. Melanie called him 27 times. He answered on the 28th. You're really abandoning me? Ethan sounded exhausted. I've spent 3 years choosing you. And? And I lost everything. Melanie started crying. You're blaming me because Chloe left. No. His voice turned bitter. I'm blaming myself for letting you turn my relationship into entertainment. She screamed at him. You loved it too. Ethan went silent. That was the truth neither of them could escape. He had enjoyed being wanted. He had enjoyed having two women fighting for his attention. He had mistaken attention for love. And now nobody wanted him. His friends stopped inviting him out. His parents heard about the scandal. His father removed him from the family business's upcoming project. Even the people who had laughed at the polls were suddenly claiming they had never supported them. Meanwhile, I had moved into my new apartment. I deleted Ethan's number. I changed my phone wallpaper. I bought a new dress. And 3 days later, I went out for dinner with Sophia. Halfway through the meal, my phone buzzed. A message from Ethan. I heard you went on a date. I stared at it. Then another appeared. Are you happy? I smiled. Yes. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Finally. Good. That was the last message he ever sent me. But Melanie wasn't finished. She posted one final video. She admitted everything. She admitted creating the polls. She admitted manipulating Ethan. She admitted humiliating me because she wanted him. Then she looked into the camera and said. But Chloe wasn't the only person Ethan betrayed. She revealed that Ethan had been privately telling Melanie for years that he would eventually leave me for her. Ethan denied it. Then Melanie uploaded the messages. His own words destroyed him. His career suffered. Her career suffered. Their friend group completely collapsed. And the famous poll that had once controlled my entire relationship became a joke people used against them. Someone even created a final poll. Should Ethan and Melanie ever be allowed near a group chat again? No, 98%. Absolutely not, 2%. There wasn't a single vote in their favor. I saw the result while sitting on my balcony. For once, I laughed. Then I deleted the screenshot. I didn't need to keep it. Because I didn't care for another vote anymore. I had already chosen myself.